What is going on, everybody? It is Armageddon in South Carolina. There is 2 inches of snow, maybe 3 inches of snow in the forecast for this weekend, and people are insane. You can't find a loaf of bread. You can't find a gallon of milk. The shelves have been stripped, and the grocery stores are jam-packed. It's impossible to even move around in this city. While we're here, you might as well quickly tickle that subscribe button and make sure you don't miss any of the videos that I have coming up in the future. And while you're at it, when you finish up with this one, go take a look back at my channel and click on some of the other videos. You might find something that you're interested in. For whatever reason, people are insane. Coming from the northern part of the country, originally from Minnesota, these little snaps of weather obviously don't faze me. I've been in the South for about 5 or 6 years now, and it never fails. If there is some weather in the forecast that is a little inclement in nature, people go a little bit nuts, and for whatever reason, bread and milk are the first things to go. In all fairness, it is raining pretty good right now, and we're supposed to get maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. And if it drops below freezing and we get a layer of ice underneath the snow, it could create some pretty dangerous and slippery situations. The other problem on top of that, in the South, they're obviously not prepared at a local or even state level to take care of roadways and things of that nature when it comes to snow and ice. There's no plow trucks, there's no salt trucks. When it snows, it just gets packed down by the cars that travel the road. So I remember last year, actually 1 year ago, this weekend, we had a snowstorm. I think we got about 4 or 5 inches of snow over a 6-hour period. So it was pretty significant snowfall for the area. And schools were closed the following Monday. It snowed on a Friday afternoon, and they already announced schools would be closed on Monday. It ended up being that schools were closed on the Tuesday, and then they just went ahead and eventually canceled school for the rest of the week, all because of 4 inches of snow. People from the north would probably laugh at that. Trust me, when we first moved to the South and we witnessed things like that, it was unbelievable to us as well. But if you were to drive around some of the roads, especially in more rural areas or areas that don't get a whole lot of traffic, because the snow isn't plowed, because they don't have snow or salt trucks, the roads, the snow on the roads just get packed and packed and packed. And if there's not enough traffic to burn that ice or pack snow off, it just freezes into solid ice. So you would drive down the road trying to keep your tires in the ruts, basically touching the exposed asphalt. Otherwise you'd be sliding around. So it certainly can be dangerous in some areas for school buses and for people trying to get their kids to school. So I guess better safe than sorry, but that's pretty unbelievable. And it was really unbelievable for us at first to move down here and see schools canceled for an entire week just because of 3 or 4 inches of snow. I mean, I remember walking to school in blizzard-like conditions, it seemed like, and you could literally watch out your classroom window and watch the snow accumulate, and you just waited for 3 o'clock for school to get out, and you went home and most likely went to school the next day. So it's definitely interesting, but nonetheless, we'll see if we can come up with an interesting video today. I don't know that we're going to be super busy. I guess if it's not an interesting video, you won't even know because this won't be posted. But I wanted to actually test out how the Q50 handles in some snow and some slippery conditions, and I wanted to get it out and see what it could do. And I also wanted to test out the snow mode and see if that actually does anything. A whole other topic that I would like to eventually touch on is, when do we ever start relying on modes in our cars to help us drive? What's the purpose of eco mode? I mean, you want to prevent burning through your fuel, you want to get better gas mileage, don't have a lead foot. You know, don't spin your tires around every corner. Don't accelerate from 0 to 60 from every stoplight. Don't floor it to get on the interstate. Pretty simple. I don't need a mode to prevent me from mashing the gas pedal. Same with snow mode. I mean, you just get used to driving in the snow. Just testing it out here on the roadway, I was going about 25 miles an hour in snow mode, and then flicked it over to manual and saw that it had me in 5th gear. So obviously it's upshifting a lot sooner, and it's keeping the RPM in a low range. So you're, you know, it prevents you from accelerating too fast or spinning the tires, which I could see would be helpful. But in all honesty, do I really need that in the snow? I mean, I have self-control, I guess. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I would be spinning my tires in the snow, but not on accident. I think it'd be more, you know, for the purposes of fun. Nonetheless, I want to test out the snow mode. I want to see how the car handles in the snow, so maybe we'll do that. But let's see what happens. Let's see how the day goes. Have you ever ordered anything from Amazon and forgot about it? Here's the case today. Package just came in. Don't remember what I ordered. Don't remember when I ordered it. Let's take a look. Oh boy. Drop-in filters for the Q. Hopefully they are correct. These are dry filters. They're kind of a no-name brand. They were recommended to me by one of the viewers. Somebody left a comment. I didn't want to use K&N oiled filters. I had heard some different things about oil contamination, oil getting into the intake, blah, blah, blah. They're also $50 a piece. I heard that they were very tight in the box, airbox, that sometimes people couldn't get them to fit properly. And then somebody mentioned that these Pentius automotive parts fit perfectly in there and worked really well, and they've had them in for quite a long time. So we're gonna go ahead and check them out. Upon inspection, they don't look too bad. The plastic mold or the rubberized mold part around the filter is kind of weird shaped on both sides. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but I got these on Amazon and they were like $12 or $13 a piece. That's incredible. So we're gonna try them out. Hopefully they fit. Honestly, seem a little small from what I remember when I opened the boxes up, but the airbox, but I'm not totally sure. We'll check that out. Reinforced around the edges. It's just a typical paper filter, but it doesn't seem super porous. It certainly looks like it could work. I guess since this is kind of a surprise and they came really fast, why don't we put them in? All right, my wife says we got to run an errand. She's giving me 30 minutes to get these filters installed. Let's see if we can do it. First things first, I'm gonna remove this plastic shield just by popping these little guys up. There are several. Little pop rivets or push rivets, I'm not sure what you call them. You can just pull them out, but don't use them. Once the shield is removed, it really exposes a lot here, which will make it much easier to work with, obviously. Filters are quite dirty, so this is going to make a big difference anyway. Excellent. 10mm socket. Get that, and then pop the clips. There is one more bolt hidden under here if you really wanted to take this all apart. However, Removing this one here gives you plenty of wiggle room. So you just have to basically flex your intake tube back, and you'll be able to, obviously I can't with my hand, but you'll be able to pull the filter out. So gives you a lot of wiggle room. Comes out. And we'll get the one and replace it. Here's the old, obviously, and the new Pentius Ultra Flow. It's Ultra Flow, but I'm not sure if it's on the same level as AEM or K&N, but I guess we will find out. It definitely looks like there are more fins. But nonetheless, we'll see. Let's get it in. Easiest thing is to hold this up, put the filter down in, push it into the actual box first, and then fold it up. Make sure it fits into the rings below. Boom. One side done, less than 5 minutes. There, both sides in, locked down. 5 minutes. Now we'll get the shield back on, but while you have this open, make sure you blow your boxes out a little bit. You might as well wipe it down, get any of the crap out of there. Let's finish up. Just taking a closer look at the shield. You can see actually why the air intake systems in these cars are actually pretty good. It's kind of louvered and it takes air in directly from the grill and shoots it right into the air box. So it's not like some of those other cars that you see where the boxes are relatively sealed off and they have a tube that runs down, you know, from the bottom of the box down toward the ground and sucks air up. This has air basically being forced right in, kind of almost like a ram air system, right from the grill directly to the intakes. So interesting. Easy way to replace these little plastic rivets. The middle section comes out. Put the bottom in. Make sure it's in all the way. Push button. And boom. We'll finish this up, wipe it down, and we'll be done. My wife gave me 30 minutes to get this done. We got it done in 10. Let's fire it up, see if we can hear any difference. I'm not sure that I notice any difference from inside the car. Just idling right at about 1,000 RPM. Little taps. I mean, it sounds good, but I'm not hearing anything different, to be honest. I'm gonna take it for a little rip in the rain. I don't know if I'm gonna film it. My wife is coming with, so we're gonna run to the grocery store. But maybe I'll give you a little bit of a review after. Make sure you check the description below too. I'll put a link to the actual part that I got it off from Amazon. I'm not sure the part number off the top of my head, but you might want to check them out. Good. If nothing else, good fitting replacement for the OE filter. So, all right, be back in a second. All right, we made it about 10 miles or so and broke down. Just kidding. We made it probably 4 or 5 miles to the destination. I don't think I felt anything, honestly, any different. The throttle response maybe felt a little snappier, but it could just be wishful thinking. It could be me, hoping that it made a difference. I don't really hear anything different in the exhaust tone, the different exhaust notes through the range of acceleration. But they certainly installed really easily, really quickly. They fit well, and I don't have any complaints as far as that goes. But you know, after we put a few more miles on, we'll take a look and see if there was any difference for real. Very nice. Well, we haven't got any snow yet, but the rain is still coming down. Not going to get it to do any driving in the snow today, maybe tomorrow, but we were pleasantly surprised with the air filters coming in today. Got to do a little install, so hopefully that was enjoyable. I will say, after doing a few pulls and driving a little bit, I don't really feel a major difference. Like I said, the throttle may be a little more snappy. The exhaust does sound a little bit more smooth, and it did feel pretty nice under acceleration, but it may just be because my other filters were so dirty. I'm not sure that these are on par with Can-N or the AEM, but we'll keep them in for a few more miles, and we'll eventually try some other ones. But despite these being ultra flow, I'm not sure that that's necessarily true. So stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and see you next time.